Hello. Good evening. Or is it afternoon? It's afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm waiting for some of you to come in. Good afternoon. Hey, Tion. Hey, Sheila. Good afternoon. I don't know if you all could see the title of this message. And I'm not going to be long. I say that every time. Listen, with my long-winded self, I say that every time that I'm not going to be long, and I be on here for hours, right? Minutes and minutes, right? Hello, Barbara. Hello, you all. So I just had to come and share this message with you. I just got off work and I was driving and I said, you know what? Let me go live. Let me ask this question. Because a lot of us have not really asked this question. And if we asked ourselves this question, what are you willing to give up? And who are you willing to give up? What and who are you willing to give up to reach your divine destiny? Like, right? Who and what are you willing to give up? A lot of you have not asked yourself that question. And some of you may have, but we all know the answer because this is a hard pill to swallow, right? This is a hard pill to swallow, deciding who we're going to give up and what we have to give up to reach our divine destiny, right? Because many of us, including myself, Barbara, you all in, you 10 toes down in this thing, girl. You say in and everything. So many of us, and this message is not for everyone. We already know that. Every message is not for everyone. You know, we have to learn as people, we have to learn to decide or learn to determine if something is for us and if it's not. Right? Most messages, and I'm a little shaky because I'm holding my phone. Most messages that I know is if it's for me or not, it'll speak to my soul. It'll speak to something I'm currently going through. It'll speak to something and it'll give me this feeling like, oh yeah, that was for me. So if this message is not for you, you keep on, strolling, right? I had to, introduce a few people yesterday to my delete and block ministry from yesterday. I got a good delete and block ministry. I don't reply. I don't do any of that. When they come on this page acting foolish, I just delete and block. I don't do no post, no subliminal post. I don't do any of that because I don't have time. When you give things your energy, that's taken away from you. And I need all my energy for this channel. I need all my energy for me and my channel. My delete and block ministry so strong, I just do like Tony Gass's, blocked with a D and a T on the end. That's they're not just blocked ED, they're blocked DT on the end, right? My ministry is good. I got a good ministry because I've noticed whenever you give something your energy, that takes away from your intent. That takes away from the message. That takes away from the energy that you bring to the channel, right? That takes away from all of that. When you're addressing somebody and their negativity, we don't have time for that over here. We don't have time. We're trying to heal. We're trying to take responsibility for our own stuff. We got stuff going on that we need to handle in this season, right? So, yes, Barbara, I don't be playing around. I just don't have time in this season. I really don't. I don't have time for people, taking a message and making it out of something that it wasn't intended for. If the message is not for you, just go ahead on. I listen to plenty of messages, right? And I don't go on anyone's page trying to challenge or undermine or go against or, do any of that because I know the message is not for me. And that's okay. I understand. That's where maturity and healing comes in. When you understand everything doesn't apply to you. We have to learn that everything somebody is saying doesn't apply to you. Now, if it triggers you, right? If something somebody says triggers you, you need to ask yourself why. That's what needs to be done. You need to ask yourself why. Why is this triggering me? Why would somebody, why is it what they said bothered me? Right? Why is it I don't know this person? That's the thing. If you don't, no one should be able to trigger you, especially if you don't know them. They shouldn't be able to trigger you. If a stranger can trigger you on social media, if someone can trigger you, this is not my message. I didn't come here for this, but I need to say this. If a stranger you don't know, that's probably a robot or something, could trigger you by something they say online and you're triggered, you need healing. You need to do healing. You need to go look within to see why. You got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. If someone can trigger you and you don't know them, right? You don't know them, you need work. That means you have to heal. Something is going on underneath and you need to address it. But my message is, what are you willing to give up? Who are you willing to give up to reach your divine destiny? And that divine destiny is your divine destiny is that place that you saw in your vision where God is taking you. Right? That place where you saw in your vision, that thing, that destination, that place that you have seen. You're not there quite yet. You're getting there. But it's that place where you've seen yourself. What are you willing to do? Who are you willing to cut off? Because if you have a divine destiny, there are a lot of distractions. There are a lot of people who are tied to you, who are stopping you from reaching your divine destiny. Yep, you do. You have relationships. You have friendships. Some of you are loyal to your family members and you can't do what you need to do because you're so loyal to them that you can't work on yourself, that you can't heal yourself, right? You're so loyal to them, you can't do what it is, what you need to do to reach your divine destiny. So what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? Right? Who are you willing to give up? Some of you have addictions, right? There's all sorts of, yes, Sheila, even your own, yes, especially those adult children. Yes, the enemy will use your children to stop you from reaching your divine destiny because you will be so caught up into what they have going on, right? But that's why I'm asking you, what are you willing to give up to reach your divine destiny? And it's not easy. It is not easy to get to that place where you know God is taking you. It is not easy. There's addictions that some of you need to give up. You got family members, you got friends, you have jobs. Some of you have jobs that you need to leave and haven't left. Yes. Some of us, to be honest, some of us are born into those families that some of us, especially the chosen ones, and that's most of you listening to me right now. That's why you were drawn to this channel. Most of you were born into families that are keeping you from reaching your destiny. We become so loyal to tradition and family, right? We reverence them above God and what God told us to do. That's how most of us got messed up. It's the same thing that's happened in the Bible. We put our traditions and we put our familiarity, above what God is telling us to do. We go to our pastors to confirm with our pastors to see what they want us to do. It's good to get wise counsel, don't get me wrong. But if God told you to do something, you shouldn't be going to your pastor. If he gave that message to you, you shouldn't be going to him to confirm your destiny, your divine destiny and assignment. You're putting someone else before God. I don't care who it is. You're putting someone else above God. If he told you, if you know for sure you're hearing God's voice, it's okay to go to your pastor and get clarity. He should be confirming to you what God told you to do, not what he thinks you should be doing. Gotta give him the clarity to give you the message that's going to confirm what it is that you need to be doing. Most people can't do what they need to do because they're too busy trying, let me go see what pastor. Some people irk my nerves, excuse my French. And I'm not here to talk down on pastors because I follow one, right? I follow one. But I'm going to listen to God. If I need clarity, I will ask him. Right? But some people irks me. And that's what we say down here in the South. That's a word from the hood. They just irks me, But some people get on my nerves. Oh, I ain't gonna say get on my nerves. I gotta watch what I say. I'll just say irk. That's a better word. Because I'm watching my words. But everything they got to filter through their pastor. If God told you to get up this morning and you go evangelize and you pass out tracts, you don't have to go ask your pastor that. You don't have to go, you're going to have to ask him. If the Lord put on your heart to give someone something, you don't have to question it. You know it's God. Give that person $50. Give that person $25. Go tell that person this or that. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me back in 2017. I attended this church, the same church I attend now. And I went in there and I just had this spirit of fear all over me. That's why I'm still at the church, because I know God is there. It's not a perfect church, but I know God is there. And no one is going to tell me nothing that I haven't experienced myself, right? And I went through this before I had my awakening too. And this before I became into the knowledge of understanding, and being obedient to God, to what God told me to do. But I went into this church, right? And I went into this church and it was an old white guy. Let me be honest. An old white guy came, and I know this was God. He came and he ministered to me. Only God used him to minister to me. And I know this for a fact. And the man came to me and told me, he said, and this was God, I just broke down. He told me, he said, the Lord told me to tell you. And that's why I know it was God. And it was something along these lines. I don't remember verbatim what he said, but he said, the Lord told me to tell you that fear that you're dealing with, he said, God is going to take care of that. God told me to tell you to take care of that. I mean, he's going to take care of that. He's going to remove that. You're going to be able to overcome that. It was back in 2017. It's just this spirit of fear. And I didn't know how to combat that at that time because I was still stuck into religion. But once I got a relationship, now I know the power of my authority. I know my words. I can use my words, and I know I can speak scripture against that spirit, right? But at that time, no one knew what I was going through. I went to that church by myself. Something told me to get up, and we all know what the something is. And something said, just go down there to that church and try it out. And that's what I did. And as soon as I got there, that man ministered to me. And that was confirmation that I needed to be there. Right? That's how God will use people. He'll use people, right? He will use people to confirm what you're dealing with. They won't be talking about no surface stuff. Oh, I see a car and I see that you're going to get a house. I don't want no cars and house if my spirit is broken. If my soul needs to be healed, you can keep that car. You can keep that house. Let me get healed first so I can enjoy my car and the house. All this surface stuff, we don't need to be dealing with all that. Right? So that man spoke to my soul. I was dealing with issues in my soul. And at that time, I didn't know what else to do. So I went to church. And before I went to church, something told me to start looking for scriptures that talks about faith, that talks about fear, right? And that's what I did. And so when I went to church, right, this guy confirmed everything that I was going through. He ministered to my spirit. And I was all right after that. I was all right after that. That is what God will do. That is the word that God will use to confirm that you are on the right track or you need to be in the right, the right area. But my point is for the ones here, what are you willing to give up? Who are you willing to give up? Like I was saying, we got family, and there's nothing wrong. I love, I got family members. To be honest, let me be honest. Tell the truth, shame the devil, right? Let me just come here. I got family. I love all my family, right? But I got family I won't deal with because I can feel that spirit on them. I can feel that spirit on them. And I got family that I deal with. And it's not that I hate them, but I just know sometimes being around certain people don't feel good to my spirit. And if you feel like you got to pretend, if you feel like you can't be yourself, those are not people you need to be around. You always got to be on edge. You're waiting. If they say something to me, no, that's not how you should live. That's not what family is. You shouldn't have to be around people where you have to be, guarded. You got to always be ready. No, you shouldn't be around people like that. That's too much energy. And that takes too much time away from just enjoying the moment. When you feel like that, what I just explained, you feel like you got to be on edge. You feel like you got to watch what you say. You feel like if somebody says something to you, you're going to say this or that. You're ready to, fight. You shouldn't be around those people. Your spirit is telling you shouldn't be around those people. If you got to pretend and you have to put on a fake smile, you can't be yourself, you shouldn't be around those relatives. You shouldn't be around those people. You shouldn't be around them. Let me just tell you. And it's okay. Stop allowing religion to hold you hostage to what your spirit is telling you shouldn't be doing. We'll override that. We'll override our spirit. We'll override what our spirit is telling us because for the sake of, that's family, that's blood. But them people don't like you. Half of your family members putting witchcraft on y'all. Half of your family members speaking curses over you. Half of your family members poisoning you all. You don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about that. Half of your family members got your children going crazy because they're putting curses on your children. And you wonder why they going foolish and losing their minds, that family. Well, them relatives, because family won't do that. Them relatives. That's who doing it. And the relatives that go to church at that. Them church going relatives. Same thing that was going on in the biblical days, still going on to this day. They mixing and matching. All this foolishness that's going on. Mixing and matching. That's why we messed up. That's why half of us dysfunctional. They know. They don't put your soul somewhere in a jar. They don't sow your soul somewhere so they can keep a job or something. Oh, that stuff real. You can call me crazy if you want to. I know it's real. They don't sow your soul. They don't tuck your pictures to somebody. Tuck your children's pictures. I know I understand why you can't give pictures to everybody. I understand now. I thought the old church folks were crazy back in the days. Oh, don't give your picture to everybody. Oh, now I understand that now. Oh, I understand it now. I understand why. But you can't live in fear, right? You can't live in fear because a curse without a cause will not stand. And you just have to repent. You pray and don't be in unforgiveness. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Repent and you pray and forgive them folks. You'll be okay. The curses that they do won't even come to you. They won't even come to you. They'll be wondering why you still looking good, smelling good, talking and walking, good health, because that foolishness, what they're doing is not working. Oh, trust me, I know. Yes, and they speak them curses. A curse, you can speak a curse. You don't have to do anything like we think curses are something that is spooky. No, it's people speaking over you. You will never do this again. You're that. You're this. You know what I'm saying? Those are curses. Your child this. That's why I never come into agreement. I got people mad at me right now because I didn't come into agreement something my son said. Right? Something my child said. As his mother, I wouldn't come into agreement with that. I would not come into agreement. You got other people coming into agreement with foolishness, but I wouldn't do it. We accept things as normal. And when you stand against that, you become the crazy one. But see, you're going to be crazy to the people who don't understand the power, right, of their words. You're going to be crazy to people. Because most of us don't spoke things in our lives that we're experiencing right now. Always talking about you're ill. You're always talking about you're broke. You're always talking about this always happened to me. Right? Shakila, yeah, that's a spirit. That anger is a spirit. You have to figure out where that derived from. That's a spirit, dear. And you can be delivered from it. And we think deliverance is something, we think deliverance is something spooky. But the word says, through knowledge, the just shall be delivered. You got to get knowledge. Knowledge is deliverance. You don't need nobody to lay hands on you. You get the information and you can get delivered. That's how I know how to combat these curses. That's how I know how to speak things into my life. Yes, I got to uproot and get past some stuff because I didn't have the knowledge before. Now I got the knowledge. I know what to do. I know what to do. Knowledge. By knowledge, the just shall be delivered. When you get the knowledge, you can be delivered. You can be delivered. You just need information. You don't have to go and let nobody oil you down and, put hands on you. That's why some of you people put hands on you and you still got up and you worse off than you were before they put hands on you. It's like they imparted some spirits up in you because you got to get the knowledge. And we can say all this stuff. Yes, you got to resist the devil. But if you don't get the knowledge, if you don't repent, and we're afraid of that word, repent. If we don't repent, I know I had to repent from some things I've done. And I had to repent for things I did in my ignorance. And that's all he wants us to do is turn away. He just wants us to turn away. And that's a reason too. That's a way too. We'll be able to reach our divine destiny. Once we learn how powerful repentance is. Religion got us stuck. We stuck. That's why so many people go to church 30 years and they still broke, busted, and disgusted. I'm trying to find my wealth. I'm trying to get to my wealth. Spiritually and physically. But I understand the work that I have to do. I understand that now. And that's part of my divine destiny. I know I'm supposed to be wealthy. I was born wealthy. When you become a child of the Most High, that's your birthright to be wealthy. You're supposed to be wealthy spiritually, mentally, and physically. We got so many people in the church are battling in their minds. They're battling, right? They're battling mentally. And that's not supposed to be. I don't care what religion says. That's not supposed to be. You got more people in church taking antidepressants. That's not supposed to be. And we don't make this normal. We don't make it normal. I need my antidepressants and God. No, you don't need no antidepressants. You don't need like this foolishness. This is foolishness. Right? We just got to undo what we've been taught. We got to undo the sins. And most of us, we're battling because we're in sin. We're battling because we're in fornication. We're battling because we haven't repented. We're battling because, we still got unforgiveness. That's why you need them pills. You don't need nobody to deliver you. You don't need no deliverance, honey. You just need to, forgive them people. Ask God to show you and guide you. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a scholar. But I'm just talking about from experience. Only thing you have to do is repent, forgive them folks, unlearn. Yes, Rhonda, unlearn the foolishness we've learned. You've been in church 30 years, 40 years, and you still going through the same thing. You still struggling to pay your bills. You still got the same ailments. If you turn down that pork chop, you'll release that high blood pressure. Get away from them pork chops. We don't need religion to teach us how to heal, because we just could change our eating habits. That's why I say through knowledge, the just shall be delivered. You know you can't be eating all that butter. I went to the doctor. My cholesterol was elevated. Guess what I did? I knew what was going on because I put butter in everything. And that's my deliverance, right? I got delivered when I stopped using all that butter. I didn't have to go and let nobody put hands on me. I didn't have to go let nobody put hands on me to deliver me from high cholesterol. No, I delivered myself because I cut back on that butter. That's what I did. And guess what? It went down. Just like that, it went down. Knowledge. That's all we need. We need knowledge. Yes, fasting helps too. Fasting helps. That's the thing. A lot of us, especially in the U.S., we're greedy. That gluttonous spirit. We got to eat everything we see. And it is hard. It's hard. But that's why we need God to help us. It's hard. It's hard. I didn't need for nobody to go lay their hands on me. What I needed to do is stop putting butter in everything. That's what I needed to do. And I was delivered from my high cholesterol. Well, it wasn't high to say elevated. It was increasing. It was more on the bad cholesterol side. And that's all I had to do. Yes, it's challenging. It is. And we have to do things in moderation. You still can have your stuff, but do it in moderation. I got delivered from that cholesterol. I didn't need nobody. See, that's what we do. We do foolishness like this. Knowing we eating bad. We're eating bad. We're overweight, right? And that's what happened. Let me tell you how little I look. Look at my frame. How little I look. And this how the world, this is what religion does to us. People will say I'm not overweight. But when I got on that scale for my height and my size, I was 20 pounds overweight. Can you believe that? 20 pounds over my weight. And you want to believe how I knew I was overweight? Let me tell you something. Right? This is going to help somebody. I don't know why I'm getting on this. I didn't come to do all this talking. Let me tell you how I knew I was overweight and I gained too much weight. My knees started hurting. And everybody, oh, that weight look good on you. That weight looks so good. No, don't affirm me with this weight. My knees are telling me that I need to lose weight. And guess what I did? I lost that weight too. My knees start telling me that something is wrong. And I had to change that foolishness. If my knees are talking to me, that means I need to do something. Not sit there and complain, oh Lord, rubbing my knee with oil, praying oil. That praying oil ain't gonna do nothing. I need to lose weight. And that's what I did. Right? I don't need nobody to tell me how good I look with weight on me. My knees are telling me I don't look good with this weight on me. And I'm not worried about what people are going to say. Because, sometimes in our black community, right? In the black community, we know if you lose weight, people say, oh, don't lose. Oh, you're losing too much weight. You look bad. No, what my health is saying, what my body is saying, what my knees are telling me, what me going up these stairs telling me I'm huffing and puffing like I don't ran a relay. No, we got to take care of ourselves. You don't need to be going to the altar for ailments. What we need to do is change our eating habits. Even with me. I'm not perfect, but I have cut back. Yes, my body can't carry all that weight. Great for Brian. My knees were talking to me. And I'm like, oh, I need my knees. And see, what we do is, if I would have ignored my knees and I'm putting all that weight on my knees over time, I probably would have needed a knee replacement because I ignored what my knees were telling me. I ignored it. I ignored the pressure on my knees. I ignored that. Right? We just have to find new ways to eat. I cut back on all that soul food. Listen, I appreciate how I grew up, and I would never deny how I grew up. I'm real. That's just me. I would never deny. But eating all that fried pork chop and fried chicken and fried this and that, I cut that out over a decade ago. I'll bake me some chicken. I don't eat as much pork. I do eat bacon. But it does make a difference. What we eat, it makes a difference. And I cut back on a lot of what I used to eat. And guess what? That weight came off by itself. It came off by itself. I didn't have to work out as much and work out as hard because I was working out and still had the weight on me. You know why? Because I didn't change my eating habits. I didn't cut back on the butter at the time. And I told the doctor, I'm working out every day. I'm walking every day. But guess what? I was still piling that butter up. I had 2 feet of butter, on my 2 feet of butter on my zucchini, squash, and my little vegetables that I fry. 2 feet. I had to cut back on that. I had to cut back. And it is good to go on a fast. Some people go on a fast for health reasons. Some go on a fast for spiritual reasons. But I go on fast for spiritual reasons. But it does work too. It'll help you reset as well. Right? No food, just water fast for 3 days. That'll help you. But I do it more so for spiritual reasons. But you can do a fast for just health reasons too. But you get both. When you're doing it spiritual, you get a 2-for-1. You get a health benefit and a spiritual benefit. Right? But yeah, that'll help. But what I wanted to ask is, what are you willing to give up? Because I got all off on a whole nother subject. But somebody needs to hear that. Yes, you're intermittent, Larry. That works. Yes. And I don't eat as much fast food as I used to. I really can't stand it. When you cut back on things and you don't do it for a long time, your body will lose like the craving for it. You'll lose the desire for it. You'll lose it. You will. If you cut back, you won't even have a desire for it. Although I eat sweets, I don't have that junk food desire like I used to. I used to just crave junk food, especially my Mr. Good bars. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had to have my Mr. Good bar and the Snickers. That had to be every other day. I had to have one. Junk, just junk. And the more, your body's going to crave more of what you eat. Yes, Larry. I don't eat breakfast either. I don't eat breakfast. I drink tea. My first meal of the day is my lunch. Yep, my lunch. And these different things help, but you got to find out what works for you. You have to find out what works for you. But what are you willing to give up to reach your divine destiny? Some of you got children who's taking you through the ringer. Are you willing to give them children up, especially your adult children? You can't give up the younger ones. You got to beat up with them babies. You got to pray for them. If they're adults, right? If they are adults, are you willing to give them up? Because some of your, yes, yep, really, that's true. But what are you willing to give up? That job stressing you out? And this is where, when we're talking about tapping into our divine destiny, right? It is hard and it's challenging. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy, because it's not. Because we get accustomed to people. We get accustomed to doing things. And we don't want to be alone for a season, right? And some of us know that the people who we are around, they don't make us feel good. Like I was saying earlier, why go around people and you automatically get tense? You automatically be on guard. If they say this to me, why go around people like that? Why go around people if you know they're being fake and phony with you? You know they really don't like you, but they have to deal with you for whatever reason. You know you in a relationship that is not progressing, but you just don't want to give it up because you got too much time invested. But you are miserable. You are so miserable, you even hate going home. That's how miserable you are. But because you got a home and you got a house, you don't want to give that up. I'm not telling you to give it up, but what I'm saying is you're comfortable, right? You're comfortable there. And we don't want to give it up. We would rather live in misery and be disobedient to God than to step out on faith. And trust that God will provide. We would rather be miserable. Go home. You go home every day. You're arguing left and right. You're not even, you're married, but you're not together. You're married, but You don't have a marriage. You on paper you're married, but spiritually you're not connected. That man over there with somebody and you doing your own thing. You will never reach your destiny like that. Because we all know, and you can attest to this, agree. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree, or put a thumbs up. Certain people bring out the worst in us. Being around certain people bring out the worst in us. Put thumbs up. Put your thumbs up in the chat. Connected to certain people, yeah, put a 1 or thumbs up. You connected to certain people, bring out the worst in you. You be so sweet and jolly and helpful and loving. You be your normal self until you get around certain people. Until you get with a certain person. And you turn into this vicious, like you just turn into a whole new person. You even ask yourself, what is wrong with me? You even ask yourself, what is wrong with me? Because of that energy that you don't connect with yourself with. We all know it's true. That's why some of you are stuck and you can't reach your divine destiny, because you're in relationships that are not divine. You're in toxic marriages that are not fruitful. They're not going anywhere. And no, don't come on my page saying I told you to get a divorce. I'm not telling you that. No, I just want you to look at some things. You're in that toxic marriage and it's not going anywhere. That relationship is not going anywhere. One of you want to grow and one of you stuck. Right? One of you want to grow and one of you just stuck and don't want to do nothing. Don't say I told you to leave. I'm not saying that. I just want you to look at some things. Right? You're stuck. You can't progress. You can't progress because you're just stuck. And you can't reach your divine destiny because you're so dedicated to that toxicity. You got to manage the relationship. You're managing. You're the manager of the relationship, of the marriage. You're the manager. You're the manager. And you don't have energy. You're tired. You're exhausted. You can't focus. None of that. You can't do any of it. Because you're trying to manage toxicity. You don't want anyone to know that you're in a toxic relationship that is not working. Because you want to save face. That's okay. Why do you all think so many marriages, we say it's the enemy? I don't agree with that. I don't think the enemy is doing it. I think we did it, the people. I think we did it in our own flesh. We got into these marriages in our own flesh. We didn't go to God. Because if we would have went to God, we would have waited until we got married to jump in the bed. Sometimes we just want a license to jump in the bed. That's why most of you all got married. Right? We didn't go to God. And we'll say what God has put together, no man could. Yeah, he's going to honor the contract because you got into a contract. He's going to honor it. But if you all both haven't submitted fully to God, if you both haven't repented, and if you both haven't submitted that thing to God and came out of agreement on the basis that you got into the marriage over, which was lust. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. He was fine. Oh, she was fine. He was fine. She was fine. I'm gonna get married to this because I like the outer. The outer look good. You'll never get to your divine destiny being with a fine demon. You'll never get to your divine destiny being with a nice shaped demon, a fine demon, a demon that got muscles and hips and thighs and butt. You'll never get to your divine destiny. Ever. Never, ever. unless both of you all submit to God. I said it. Don't beat me up. I'm just a messenger. I said it. And you can be fine. Because God, that's a gift from God. Looking good. Beauty is a gift from God. But as long as you got that thing submitted to God, that beauty has to be submitted to God. Yeah, most of us got into these relationships, right? Because we wanted to get into them fleshly. But then when we finally got a real relationship, and not religious, a real relationship, then we understand, man, he wasn't, or she wasn't even my type. He wasn't even my type. How did I get here? Your flesh got you there. That's why it's so hard for you to get to your divine destiny. Yes, it shouldn't be about the flesh. But see, I don't blame most of us. You know why? Because the church, religion had us thinking a certain way. We're still responsible, but I don't blame most of us because religion had us thinking a certain way. Religion almost forced us to kind of get married, out of obligation. Yes, it did. For some of us who grew up in the church, yes, it did. Y'all might as well get together instead of saying save yourself before marriage. Don't have sex before marriage. Get to know each other. See if you're equally yoked. Just because both of y'all believe in God don't mean you're equally yoked. Right? See if you're equally yoked. We got to be honest. Tell the truth, shame the devil. We have to be honest. That's why so many marriages are dissolving right now. Because most people got married on superficial things. And the superficial things are not going to sustain you. It's the spiritual aspect. It's somebody recognizing that my wife is dealing with something. She's battling something. Let me pray. Let me go to God. Right? My husband is dealing with something. After you all have repented and submitted yourself to God. That's how marriages last. Some people just get stuck in marriages because of what that thing called? What the word I'm trying to use? When you get married, not the people please. When you're trying to make it seem like it's something that is not. You want to, what is the word I was looking for? I lost my train of thought. Let me just say this. Some people get married for the wrong reasons. And then when you get married, you find out that marriage is harder than you thought it would be. And what makes it hard is you're not equally yoked. Because that lust, that's going to die down. That lust for feeling, that feeling is going to die down. What's going to sustain you after you get tired of looking at the muscles? When you get tired of looking at that big butt and them hips, what's going to sustain that marriage? Okay? When the muscles fade away. When that 6-pack turns into a keg, a 1-pack, a keg. And then that's another thing. If we're not following God's order, they can argue all that. Men, you all can argue all you want to. And let me tell you, you can argue, but you are the head. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's not the woman's fault. It's not the woman that should be leading. And that's why a lot of marriage is out of order, because the woman is the head, basically, leading the family spiritually. That's why stuff not working. She's trying to be the prayer. She's trying to teach the children about God. She's taking the children to church. That's that man's job. That's why the stuff is not working. Everything is so out of order. And I know the woman feels like she has to fill in because he's not doing it. But at the same time, we're out of order. We're out of order. Yes, we are. We're making it harder than what it is. If that man took that family to church and he was doing right, if his heart was submitted to God, he would know that he shouldn't be marrying nobody with no big butt and no hips and no, because they fine and pretty. He should know that. He should know. But unfortunately, most men are drawn and they're carried away by the flesh part of it. And then they realize once that flesh die down, man, I need somebody with some inner healing, you know? I need somebody with some inner healing. Because it's not going to last when times get hard. You need somebody to be at peace in these marriages. That's why people go 20, 30 years and say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm done. And that's why. The foundation, right? The foundation was not built on spiritual principles. We say they are, then we try to add God and we use these scriptures and we say that's what religion did for us. Religion got us all in this mess. Knowing you didn't get married to that woman or that man because you were spiritually connected. You know it was because of money. You know it was because of he looked good or she looked good. Fleshly stuff. Only that spiritual part is going to keep you. Because God is going to direct that man and lead him on how he should lead that family. Right? No, it's not good for man to be alone. That's why he said, what would the scripture say? When he finds a wife, he finds a good thing and get favors from God. When you find a wife, you do get favor. You get favor. And see, religion complicated stuff. You know, that's why we so dysfunctional. That's why the marriages are not lasting. Because we jump in the bed first. And then we stamp God on it. And then we want to try to make it right. No, we got everything backwards. We want to test the car before driving. You know, that's how society tell us. How do if you test the car, you may not like it. And if you do it God's way, right? If you do it God's way, I'm sure he's going to have that thing fine. If you do it God's way. He don't make mistakes. If we really did it God's way, God know that bad part that's an added bonus because you did it his way. Did it his way. It'll work out. But we got to clear ourselves of all this sin and perversion that we got ourselves into. We got all this perversion and sin, then we try to get married and bring all them spirits into marriage. Bring all the spirits from us. We got to stop all this stuff. Yes, we do. We got to stop it all. That's why this stuff is not working. And we think God isn't working, right? We think his way is not working. That's why so many people going other ways. It's not that his way is not working. It's our way that's not working. And we're trying to make it his way. That's what's not working. Our way is not working. His way will always work. But we don't want to do it his way because we want to test drive the car before we drive it. We got to make sure it's sticking how it's supposed to be sticking. Oh, we want to make sure it's sticking. No, you can't be testing it. And what we'll do is we'll look at what we think is working for someone else. Oh, they did it. You can't look at no one else. You're the chosen one. You're the one God is telling not to do it that way. Have you ever noticed chosen one? Let me tell you. Everybody else could do what they want to do. I know it's for me. I can't do what everybody else do. Everyone else could sin. They can do all type of evil. But let you do it. You do it. You don't have peace in your soul when you do it. Everyone else could be taking stuff that they ain't got no business taking off the job. You know, they taking extra pens and toilet paper and all kind of stuff, stealing, right? Let you try to do it. You will not rest in your soul. You'll feel so guilty. You know, you'll feel so guilty trying to do what everybody else is doing. You can't do what everybody else do. You're not like everybody else. Let people believe and think what they want to think. When you know you're chosen, when you know you're supposed to be doing right, of course you can't do what everybody else do. That's what's wrong with us. We want to look at everybody else and base what they do and try to say that's what we could do. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't just mistreat people for no reason. We can't do evil from evil. How bad we want to do evil. how bad I know you all want to be doing. I know you want to treat people how they treat you. Trust me, I know you do, but you can't do it. It's not in you. It is not in you to do them how they did you. That's not part of your makeup. You're not wired that way. And if you do them how they did you, you won't get no rest. You will not get any rest. You won't sleep good. You will be tormented in your poor little soul. You will be tormented. That's why you can't do them how they did you. It's not part of who you are. It's not part of who you are. Stop trying to override how you are. You're trying to override how God designed you. Evil people are designed that way because they're evil. They can do stuff like that. You can't do it. You won't even feel good. Yes, you can't do it. And you're not supposed to do it, Shakila. That's not who you are. People can dog you out. People can dog y'all out, and you were like, I must be. And you ask yourself, maybe I'm some type of special. Maybe I'm stupid or something. This is what you say to yourself, right? This is what you say to yourself. Put a thumbs up if I'm telling you the right thing. You look at yourself and you say, maybe I'm stupid or something. I just let them do all kind of craziness to me, and I don't do nothing. I don't say nothing. Put a thumbs up in the chat. I know I'm talking to somebody. It's not that you're stupid. Stop calling yourself that. You're not wired that way. You're not wired that way, sugar lumps. You're not wired that way. And sometimes people could take that, right? Girl, I'm sure you did, really. Look, I thought it myself too. That's how come I could talk on it. Yes, you'll think you're crazy, but you're just not wired that way. Some of the evil some people have inflicted on you all, some of the nastiest and the most vile things, right, that people have did to you all. You were thinking in your head of ways to get them back. But in your heart, you can bring yourself to do it because you're not wired that way. You're different. And this is what I don't like about religion. Religion, I have us think we're all the same. You saved, I'm saved. No, that's religion. No, God got some chosen. He got them special ones out there. Them ones that done been used and abused and misused. Don't think you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're just chosen, and you don't understand. No one haven't given you the knowledge of what it is that you carry. They haven't given you that knowledge. So you think you crazy, but you come off as passive. You don't know how to stand up for yourself because you need to heal. You can still be powerful and set boundaries. You can still be powerful and have boundaries. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But we're not taught this stuff. Religion having us thinking we got to sit there and let people run over us without speaking up. You can speak up without being nasty. You can speak up without, being mean and hateful. You can speak up. You can tell people, no, I'm not going to let you talk to me like that. No, I'm not going to let you mistreat me. No, I don't like the way that feel. Is that nasty? No, that's assertive, and that's meaning what you say. You're meaning what it is that you're saying. And you stand on that. You don't let people cross boundaries. Yes, accountability. You don't let people cross boundaries. Yes, stop feeling religion have us thinking, oh, what would Jesus do? They use these terms that keep you bound. What would Jesus do? I don't know about the stories y'all read in the Bible, but the Jesus I read about, he was very confrontational. And he spoke up against stuff. Turned things over. Yes, turn things over. We got to stop submitting to religion to keep us bound in bondage. You can stand up for yourself and still love God. You don't have to be a doormat. People always try to keep you in bondage. That's not how you're supposed to be. Oh, how I'm supposed to be is how I am. Set boundaries. Yeah, he was bold. Yes, he was bold and polite. And religion to have us, oh, that's not how you supposed to be. No, what I'm not going to do is let you run over me. What I'm not going to do is let you disrespect me. That's what I'm not going to do. Right? I'm not going to do that. And what we would do is we would use passive aggressiveness or passiveness. I say passive, not aggressive, just passive, as a way of sacrificing ourselves to please other people because we don't want to confront them. We don't want to shake and rock the boat. You better rock that boat. This your affirmation. This your confirmation to rock the boat. You set them boundaries so you can heal. Set boundaries so you can heal. And so you can start walking into your divine destiny. That's how you're going to get there. Put up boundaries with people. You don't let your family talk to you all kind of way. They mistreat you and talk to you all type of way. You don't say nothing. You sit there and go home and cry. Oh no, they do me like this. Oh no, I'm tired of being treated like this. Say something about it. That's what you do. Speak up. Speak up. Use your voice. Stop letting them mistreat you. You know they're not treating you right. You let them know. I don't like how y'all do this. Y'all treat everybody right but me. When it comes to me, y'all got excuses. Y'all got all... You can speak up. You can speak up. Yes, be wise. Especially on the job. Be wise. If you know you need that job, you have to be wise. I'm not telling us to be, rational and just out of emotion. Be wise. Yes, be wise. Speak up. Speak up. We have to stop allowing this stuff. And let me tell you, and I'm gonna warn you, I don't care how nice you are when you speak up. I don't care how polite you are when you speak up. People are not going to like it. You're going to see them demons manifest. You're going to see them demons manifest when you finally stand up and speak up for yourself. Because people are used to you allowing them to walk all over you. They're used to you not saying anything. They're used to you accepting anything. But now you got some boundaries. Now you got some morals. You have values. You've been had those. You just didn't know how to pull them out the bag. You've been had those, right? But you just didn't know how to use them because you were afraid. You got to overcome that fear. I was like that. Overcome that fear. Tell people who don't make you feel good that they no longer come around you. If they can't respect you, don't let them come around you. Stop inviting those people to your house. I don't care who they are. Family, siblings, children. If they bringing all this energy, you know that energy that they bring. Yes, bring all that discomfort. If they're bringing discomfort in your dwelling, in your home, cut that mess off. That's foolishness. That's foolishness. Let them get mad. They'll get over it. Let them get mad. They can stop talking to you. Let them get mad. You have to be willing, though. Be willing to lose that relationship because people are going to get mad. They are going to get mad. Yes, they are going to get mad. And unfortunately, and we don't talk about it enough, but I'm going to tell you. Unfortunately, in these families, and I mentioned it before, families like to perpetuate those curses that are running up and down the bloodline. All that dysfunction, they like to perpetuate it. They like to repeat it, right? They like to repeat that stuff, and they will use your children. They will use your children. That's why you have to keep your children covered in prayer and tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. You have to tell them the truth because they will use your children against you. They will. They will. To keep them curses going on. They'll use them. They will use them, especially them narcissistic family members. Them demons, I call them demons. They demons. They're out to kill, steal, and destroy. They don't like peace. They don't want nobody having a good time. They don't want relationships to be, good. They don't want you to have no good relationship with your children. Right? They don't want that. They don't want that peace. They don't want love and unity. Yes, they don't want unity. And especially if you got children that are chosen, oh, the devil is definitely is going to be after them. So you got to educate them early. Don't wait to educate them. Tell them children. Now, I don't care if they're 5. Put that information in them. Give them that information. Let them know the call that they have on their life. Speak to them. Tell them, baby, you're chosen. Tell them you're a prophet. You got a gift from God. Tell them that so they'll know when they get out into that world and the enemy comes for them, they'll remember. My mama said I'm a prophet. My mama said I got a call in my life, so this is going to happen. That is going to happen. I got to be ready. I can't let this get me down. Tell them children while they're young. Because if not, you got them demonic family members that'll see that on that child and they'll take advantage of that child. They'll abuse that child mentally, sexually. Come on now. Let's talk about it. They will abuse them children. The family members, the devil will use them family members because they're closer to it. Why do you think? And some of you going to attest to this. Why do you think some of you have been molested and touched? Maybe I don't need to talk about this. I don't know if YouTube want to ding my video, but I got to speak what's on my heart. Speak what the Spirit is telling me. Why do you think you were attacked as a child? Why do you think you were molested as a child? Why do you think your family talked about you, made you the black sheep, left you out, made you feel like something was wrong with you, called you crazy? Why do you think that? That's not coincidence. That's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. Everybody else in the family seems to be normal, but you. They want to speak depression on you. They want to speak craziness on you. They want to make you feel like you crazy because you can see through their mess. You can see spiritually. And I'm going to be honest with you. Most people who are in these asylums, what they call us, the crazy houses, most of those people are prophets. Most of them people are anointed. They're anointed, but because they don't understand, and I've always said this, and I heard somebody say this the other day, and I said that most of them don't understand what they're dealing with. They can see the spirits in people. That's why you think they say they hear voices and I see this or that. Them people are not lying. They can see them spirits. Medication is not going to do nothing for them. They need the knowledge. But we're too busy being religious and talking about cars and houses and this and that these people out here suffering. This spiritual stuff is real. Yes, Rubia, yes. And I bet, Ruby, I bet you're prophetic. I bet you can see what's going on through people. I bet you can see what's going on in your family. That's why the enemy came for you. That's why the enemy came for your mom. That's a generational thing. Somebody in that bloodline, which was you, because you were attacked when you were younger, was going to break them curses off the family. So what the devil tried to do is he tried to make sure you were broken. He tried to make sure you were hurt. Make sure you don't see make sure you don't understand what you see, because you can see it, but he don't want you to understand. He don't want you to understand. Religion have us feeling like we crazy. You're not crazy. Get off them depression meds, them antidepressants. You don't need that. Get off that. You need to come into the knowledge. Come into the truth and understand that you are more of a spiritual being than anything. No one can tell me different. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care who see this video. I don't care. They can't tell me what I saw and what I see. They can't tell me what I know, what I've experienced, what I see in my bloodline, what I see in people. That's why most of y'all are alone. You are alone. You're not lonely. You are alone because you can see and feel what people are doing. They can talk to you about anything. They tell you out of their mouth. They tell you stuff, but you can see straight through them, the truth. And you can't tell nobody because you don't want to seem like you crazy. You don't want people to think you crazy. They're the ones crazy because they can't see it. You can see it. You're not crazy. Yes, you're not crazy. Stop thinking you're crazy or something wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. And stop making people. And another thing, people will make you feel like something is wrong with you. You probably been called crazy all your life. Oh, you crazy. You crazy. People don't think like that. People don't do this. People don't think like that. They have you questioning your reality. Especially if you get with a narcissistic demon. If you get with a narcissist, if you get in a relationship with a narcissist, or if you have a narcissistic parent or narcissistic anybody, oh, they're going to project their foolishness onto you. They're going to make you seem like you're crazy because they're the ones crazy. They're going to make you seem like you're crazy and try to gaslight you and have you question your reality. Stop making people make you feel like you don't know what you see and feel. Don't let people make you question your reality. Don't let them make you question your reality. You know what you feel. And it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Yes, because they saw that on you. Unfortunately, Relly, is it Relly or Kelly? Relly. Unfortunately, the devil used your parents too. Oh, they use them parents. That's who they get. They get the loved ones. They get the ones closest to you. Yes, it's very sick. And unfortunately, you can't talk to anyone because we were under the information and the knowledge that our parents are supposed to love us. Our parents are supposed to nurture and take care of us. But we have to understand our parents had parents. And if that generation of curse is running through the bloodline, most likely their parents did them the same way. Their parents did them the same way. They dealt with the demonic too. They dealt with them spirits too. So that's why they inflicted that pain on you. And you got to forgive them. That's why I say forgiveness is a spiritual thing. Because when you get the knowledge, you understand that the devil, the enemy, the spirits are working in these people. They're working in them. And they say things like, yes, that's still your mom. No. Some people, moms hate them. We got to come to reality. Just because you have a loving mom and you can't fathom your mom mistreating you, or you can't fathom you cutting off your own child, that doesn't mean that people are not experiencing the opposite. That doesn't mean that people are experiencing their parents trying to kill them, poison them. Look at the news. Just look at the news. That's your confirmation. I don't have to say this to you. Just look at the news. Look at the news. Innocent babies. Yes, you got to forgive them. Forgive them. It's a spiritual thing. Once you understand the spiritual piece, it's easy to forgive anyone because you're not forgiving the person. You see the spirit in them. You're letting go of that spirit. That spirit don't have control over you. Once I learned that, it was up from there. Listen, it was up from there. Once I learned that, I'm like, you're not going to have me in unforgiveness. Some people can't let go because they think it's the person that's doing it. And I know it's hard to divide the person from the spirit working in them. It is. But once you start communing and get a relationship with God and not religion, it'll be easy for you to do it. It'll be easy. And you got to keep going back. Lord, help me, show me, asking God to help you. That's what I had to do. I had to do that. You have to keep going back because it is hard to sit there and watch a person mistreat you for no reason, abuse you. I had a person in my life for over 20 years. Over 20 years came into my life, never really said anything to me, ignored me the whole time, like I didn't exist. I guess she thought I was going to bow, but I saw the spirit. I saw that controlling spirit operating in her. See, that's why I tell you, you got to be spiritual to understand what's going on. That spirit wanted me to submit to it. That spirit wanted me to bow, but I only bow to one person. One spirit I will bow to. It's only one spirit, but she tried to come into my life and wanted me to bow to her submission. Wanted me to be under her control and authority. But she had the wrong one. I mean, she had the wrong one. And let me tell you about these spirits. When you don't bow, when you don't submit under their authority, what they're trying to project, what they're trying to bring you under, when you don't submit under their authority, that spirit, yes, it's a Jezebel, Erica. Yes. Oh, she tried to get me to bow. And Jezebel is a male or female. So don't just think it's a woman. But that spirit of control, when you don't bow to it, oh, them lies will come. Oh, them lies will come. You hear me? Them lies, anything you got going on in your family, oh, that thing gonna be escalated to 10. Any little mishap you do, any little misunderstanding, oh, that thing's gonna be on 10. Oh, she gonna perpetuate that thing. That spirit gonna perpetuate it. But see, I already know what I'm dealing with, so I know how to fight this thing. And it's a fight. And it's a fight. It is a fight. It's a fight. That's why the Lord told us to put on the breastplate and the helmet of all those, the salvation. What it is, y'all, what the scripture is. Oh, there's a reason he told us to put on that. It is a spiritual fight. And that's why people get defeated, because they don't understand it is a spirit. Yes. And unfortunately, people are being used in this time. They're being used. And it's those closest to you, always coming up against you for no reason. Always trying to, the full armor. Yes, Raven, I couldn't think. You got to put on the full armor. He tell us this for a reason. Oh, that spirit thought I was going to bow. But see, that spirit didn't see the warrior in me, the God in me. They're only looking on the outside. They didn't see that fighter in me. And I refused to bow after 20 years. Now, let me tell you, if this not a fight, and if this is not the strength of God in me, I don't know what is. I did not bow after 20 years. I did not bow to her foolishness. Regardless of what she did to me, I did not bow. That's nothing but God. Regardless of the lies that she told, regardless of the things that she did, I did not bow to that spirit. You're not going to control me. You are not my God. Trying to come and control me. Come around with the silent treatment. You come around, but you don't come around in good spirit. I'm always on edge. Oh, they can't stand boundaries. I cut that foolishness off. Oh, I sure did, Raven. And when I tell you, when I cut that foolishness off, and this is how I know it was a spirit. And I talked about it in another video. When I cut that foolishness off, it felt like something broke off me. And I know it was a spirit. It felt like something broke, whatever she was doing in that atmosphere. When God told me to stop this woman from coming to my house, oh, something broke off me. That's why I know this spiritual stuff is real. Stop letting these people come around you. You don't feel good. You don't feel good for a reason. I don't care what position. It can be your child. It can be your mom, your sister, cousin, or that favorite aunt that cooked them good old pies. If she cooked them good old pies and you don't feel good, stop eating them pies. Something's in them pies. I don't care if she go to church and wear a big white hat. Stop eating that foolishness. Your spirit talking to you. Yes, we ignore this because religion made us feel like we're crazy. Drop them yes, Larry, like a bad habit. I had a problem with this. I had a problem with cutting people off because of my brokenness. I wasn't healed. I had a people-pleasing spirit. But once God delivered me, oh, I'll drop you like a bad habit. If I feel that energy. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. No questions asked. I'm not asking no questions. I'm not trying to say, oh, what's wrong? Or I'm not trying to make things right. I'm not trying to go over and beyond. Yes. These spirits are real and they operated in people closest to us. I don't play around no more. When I feel that energy, I felt this energy on this lady for years. Let me tell y'all, this is my testimony. I felt this energy on her for years. Every time she came around, my spirit was unsettled. That's a long time to go through that. 20 years. Spirit saying, alert, alert, alert. And I shut it down. My spirit, alert, 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 shut it down. Alert, 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 I shut it down. Till I got to a place where the thing was making me so uncomfortable. I'm going to tell y'all. Enemy don't want me to say this. But I'm going to tell y'all because I'm led to tell you. The spirit was so unsettling. I ignored it for so long. Guess what started happening? It started to make me sick. Some of y'all going to attest to this. And I don't just come here just to be a talking head, talking from experience. The spirit, I rejected that. I ignored my spirit for so long when this person came around. My soul, I started getting sick within my body. Because I wouldn't confront that spirit. I wouldn't confront it. I was too afraid because I wasn't healed. I was afraid to make people mad because of that spirit or who it was connected to. I was afraid all while I was getting sick. And I knew it was spiritual. When it's spiritual, you're getting sick and the doctor can't diagnose you. It's for somebody. But thank God for deliverance. Thank God for knowledge. Through knowledge, you got to get the knowledge. When you get the knowledge, no one can do anything to you. When you get the knowledge, no one can do anything to you. I started to get sick. Nobody's not going to understand the battles and warfare you go through. It's not for them to understand. They're not you. Let them think you're crazy. They're not you. Yeah, your family members, rarely someone around you. Someone around you. You're not on this live by accident. You're not on it by accident. And this is what the church don't teach. What they tell you. If you don't believe it, it's not going to come to you. If you don't believe it, you can't be cursed. You can't curse what you don't believe. And you got people battling every day. But they don't believe in curses. So they think if they don't believe in it, it can't harm them. And they're being harmed every day, all day. Every day, all day. This is the type of mindset religion got us warped into, wrapped into. That's why we can't be delivered. And then somebody like me come on because I don't have a theological degree. I'm not pastor, third bishop, honorarium, minister of the third degree in the power. If I don't have all these titles, oh, don't listen to me. No, my experience, what qualifies me. Right? That's what qualifies me, what I've been through. And what qualifies me is some of you going to attest to what I'm talking about is your experience. No one can take your experience away. No one can take your experience away. Stop letting people diminish and downplay your experience. You know when you go around that person and you go home, your spirit is not at peace. You know when you talk to that person on the phone and you give them all of your information because they're a monitoring spirit. You know when you hang up that phone, all kind of craziness go on in your head. You know that. You know something told you. What you think the something is? Something told me not to. We got to stop ignoring this stuff. Something told me. I'm not playing with these spirits this time. When I tell you I'm not playing with these spirits, I don't care. It can be my child. Bye, Felicia. And I meant that. And I'm going to stand 10 toes down. Bye, Felicia. I love you, baby. I love you. I want the best for you. I'm going to pray for you. But if you letting the devil use you, bye, Felicia. Blocked. Like Tony Gaskins say. And see, people not going to understand it. Oh, how could you turn your back? You know, they make it feel like you're turning your back on your child. You're not turning your back. You see the spirit in that child that nobody else can see. I don't know about the 4-year-old. You can cast that spirit out of the 4-year-old. But when they're grown, you don't have control over them. The 4-year-old, you got authority over that. You got to get in prayer. When they're not adults, you could get in prayer and pray against that spirit. You won't have to war, but you can pray against it. But them adult children, bye, Felicia. And I don't care what nobody say in this point in my life. When you see them spirits in them children, because the devil will use them children. You got children out here doing things to their parents, right? You got parents. You got to be careful, really. Whoever that child is around, be careful who you let that child go around. That's what I had to learn. See, I didn't know what I'm telling you when one of my children was younger. That'll be for another day. I'm not released to tell it, but pray for your children. I didn't have the spiritual knowledge that I have now. Yep. I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. But people could put, them curses on your children. Have them children acting the fool. That's why you got to listen to that spirit within. God will tell you. He'll give you a dream. I don't know about you all, but I get a dream. Get a dream, get a vision. Oh, the Holy Spirit will tell me. And I believe it. I would trust that nobody's not going to get me to second guess what my spirit is telling me and confirming with me. That's how we get messed up. That's why most of y'all are battling depression. Most of y'all are battling depression because you're overriding what your spirit is telling you. You don't need them meds. Stop taking the meds. You don't need them. I ain't going to tell you stop taking them all, because then something happened. You're going to be like, she told me. Ask God to show you how to wean yourself off that medication. You don't need it. You don't need it. Got to be careful what you allow into your spirit. Allow into your soul. This music, these movies. You got to be careful of this stuff. I know it sounds weird because the world is used to doing things a certain way, right? We're just used to this stuff. But it's true. You got to be careful what you allow into your spirit, your eye gate, your ear gate, your mouth, what you say, what you speak. Windows to the soul, what you put in your eyes, what you watch on TV, what you hear, the music you hear. I know it to be true because when I used to listen to I used to listen to rap and all that ratchet music back when I was growing up. What the Trina and Trick Daddy, they was perverted. I used to listen to all that stuff. Rapping and speaking that stuff and saying all them perverted lyrics. I'm not here as a saint. I can't be a saint. My life I had too much going on. I can't be no saint. I'm telling you the truth. But when I used to listen to all that stuff, I had a certain mindset. I had a certain mindset. Even that R&B, that R&B, that stuff puts you in a certain mood. You got to be careful with that. You get all lustful listening to that R&B, My Body and all that. You can't be listening to that. That stuff gets you aroused in a certain way. Let's speak on it. Let's tell the truth. We don't want to tell the truth. Yes. Get you aroused in a certain way. I know it did for me. That's why I don't listen to certain music. If it provokes me in a certain way, I cut it off. I can't be listening to all that stuff. I like good music, but if it does something to me in a certain way, I won't listen to it. I'll get up and walk away or block it out. Not all music, it's just certain music. And I'm not saying that I don't listen to any worldly music, because I do. I'm not going to say I don't, but certain music, all that perverted, bodied, kissing and all that, no, I ain't listening to all that. Nope. Yes. It surely does. That's why that'll be another live. We'll be on here forever if we start talking about that, really. That's why everybody looking the same. Why you think everybody looking? You got everybody looking the same. There's no distinction. Everybody looking the same, walking the same, got the same weave, got the same, like everybody looking the same. Listen, we got to be careful. We got to be careful. Listen, I said I wasn't going to be long. Look, I'm 84 minutes in. That's a shame. That is a shame. And the topic was, what are you willing to give up to walk into your divine destiny? But we don't got off on some other stuff. We don't went spiritual, right? Spiritual. Yes, God made us unique. We supposed to be unique, right? We don't supposed to be looking like everybody else. Everybody else got the same weave. Everybody got the same lashes. You don't know who is who because they all looking the same. No uniqueness, right? We ain't got no uniqueness. Everybody want to be, listen, come show up how you are. Be unique. Yes, looking like everybody looking the same Raven. Look like little minions, for real. Everybody wearing the same outfits, looking the same, what are the contour nose? Let me keep my nose. I'm gonna keep my nose. We ain't finna contour nothing. Same Lumineers, everything. Let me keep my little not so white teeth. They beige, how regular teeth supposed to be. Everybody looking the same. Jesus. We got to be different. And then they look at you because you come sticking out. And see, this is how, let me tell you, this is something spiritual. I'm going to drop this on you, then I'm going to leave. This is how, for the chosen ones, because we're in a world where everybody looks the same. You don't really have to do anything to stand out, because you're going to stand out because everybody's looking the same. I don't know if you get it. I get it a lot. People stare at me like I'm a deer in headlights when I walk into a room sometimes. They look at me like like they see an angelic being or something. They just be staring. I'm like, what are they looking at? But you stand out. There's nothing you doing. You just stand out. You don't look like everybody else. You just don't look like everybody else. And we really gonna have to put on the full armor. Not this religious stuff. I mean, really, relationship. Because you're going to be easily pointed out. You're going to be easily seen, right? And these demonic spirits, these things on 10 now. They doing all kind of craziness. Just look at the world. These spirits, like, they're not hiding anymore. They out in these streets. Okay? These spirits out doing what they're doing. Stealing, killing, and destroying. So we really have to be covered. We really do. We really have to be not living in fear. Like, I'm not trying to fearmonger. That's not what I do, because we're not supposed to live in fear. If we believe in God, we're not supposed to be out here living in fear. I don't care what's going on in the world. I don't care what's going on in the world. That's why I didn't and that's another thing. When the situation happened in 2020, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want them to ding me. I didn't fear. People tried to get me to fear. I was on this job. People tried to get me to fear. I didn't fear. Even if I got it, I wasn't going to fear. And that's just what happened. I did not fear. I believe what I believe. My faith was so strong. I'm like, this is going to be like a cold for me. And that's what happened. People want you to fear, and they want to project that fear onto you. But when you in faith, when you're truly in faith, yes, Psalms 91. But we got to have it in us. People got mad because I wasn't afraid, and they getting mad at me because I wasn't fearful. Ooh, they were shaking it. No. And guess what? My mindset was, if I go, right? If I go, it's my time. My soul's right. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I know where I'm going to go. I was for sure then. I was for sure. I'm for sure now, but I was more for sure then. My faith was on 10. I wasn't worried. Nobody put fear in me. And see, the enemy doesn't like that. When you don't bow and when you're not fearful, they going to come for you. They going to dig all up in your past and all this. But God gave us the cure for that too. And this for someone. Your past is your testimony. Don't let your past stop you from living out your divine destiny. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of that. Because he's going to use that. God's going to use what happened in your past. Why you think y'all listening to me on here? Y'all just not listening to somebody who just looked like she got it together. Oh, I got a past. Oh, I done been through some stuff. You can't worry about that. You got to come out here and you got to share to teach people how to overcome this foolishness. We got to be overcomers. We have to be warriors. And to be honest, people don't like listening to you anyways if you haven't gone through anything. If you haven't gone through anything, people look at you like, whatever. People like to listen to those who have overcome, who are warriors, who don't bow down, who don't lay down, who don't give up, who don't give in. People like those kind. Why do you think you like, who do we love? Why do you think people like Kobe Bryant? That's an example. Michael Jordan. Why do you think people like those people? It's not because they don't have a past, not because they didn't fail, not because they didn't make mistakes. It's because of their resilience, their greatness. Anybody with a talent, you like them because of their greatness. Steve Jobs been dead, I don't know how many years, and I'm sitting here with the iPhone. And you got people love iPhones. Every time another iPhone come out, they're buying another iPhone. Why is that? That man is dead and gone. He didn't let death stop him. People are still creating phones. His legacy is still living on after he's dead and gone. It's for somebody. We got to stop living in that. We have to stop living in that fear and shame. I'm glad I was delivered from shame. When I was, oh yeah, they love fear. They live for it. They dwell in that. Them demons they love fear. They love chaos and confusion. If they can keep you in those three states, oh, they got you. That's their playground. Oh, they got you. They love that playground of fear, chaos, and dysfunction. Oh, they love it. They operate so well in it. That's why you can't go down there with them in the mud. You can't go with them. What they say, an eagle bring their food in the sky and eat in the sky. Isn't that an eagle? You can't go down and eat off the ground with the chickens. That's what them demons are like. They peck their food off the ground. If you down there pecking food, they gonna beat you every time. They gonna beat you every time. You got to bring those jokers up. Bring them up to your level. If they can't come up to your level to fight, leave them right there. Bye, Felicia. Excuse me. Bye. So, I got to go. That's it for today. All my grace and goodness have left me, so I don't want to keep talking because I'm out of the grace that I had. Right? So, I hope this message helped someone. I hope this helped you. Y'all be blessed. And I will see you all later. Talk to you all later. You are welcome, dear.